Hey, it's Jeremy, aka JR, and welcome to Module 1 of the Broad Targeting Formula. In this module, I'm going to go over the little known system that I developed to dominate Facebook's broad interest targeting. So let's get started. Alright, this is Module 1, Lesson 1, and I'm going to discuss why most people target wrong, because without knowing that, you can't really understand how to target right. There's many examples of areas where people target wrong. It can be occupations. It can be when targeting pet owners, hobbies, teams, and more. And I use these examples because these are common ones that I see and hear about. Let's start out with an example here. Okay, if you're trying to target an occupation like dentist, most people would put in dentist, and it makes sense. It really does. It makes sense that you would just put in dentist. And in the past, that used to work, but Facebook's changed their targeting formula and their interest targeting so much that you can't really do that anymore. And as you can see below, you have some other ones like dentistry and cosmetic dentistry and veneer, crown, things like that. Okay, but that's how most people target. They put in dentist because it makes sense, and I see this all the time. You just think that's what you need to put in. Okay, we move on to the pets example. If you're trying to target people that like German Shepherds, you would put in German Shepherd. Again, it makes sense, and you see some related searches below. But that's just how most people think. I know some people do it a bit differently. They go a little bit deeper, but they don't go deep enough. For a hobby, an example would be golf. And you see here, I mean that has like a 70, almost a 70 million person audience. And as we know, all those people are not really engaged with the sport of golf or golf as a hobby. So you just can't target like that. And that's how a lot of people would target, because if you want to target people who like golf, you put in golf. Again, it makes sense in your head, but it doesn't make sense within Facebook's interest targeting and how they show your ads. And lastly, a sports example, you would put in the team, and again, you know it could work, but your click through rate's probably going to be pretty low because most people that like a team are not the diehard fan. Most people that like a team are just a casual fan, and what you really want to do is you really want to hit on that 5 to 10%, maybe a little bit more, that are really engaged and really the diehard fans that are understand everything about the team and really follow the team on a day-to-day basis. So getting back to why most people target wrong, for occupations, and here's why it doesn't work, okay? Because there's people that like the occupation. For example, I may like my dentist or I like nurses, but there's also those who actually work in that field. And Facebook doesn't really separate that for you when you just target the main occupation like dentist. You don't know who just likes dentist and who's actually a dentist. And for the pets, the German Shepherd example, there are people who like dogs and there are people who absolutely love dogs and their dog is their central focus in their life. And just targeting German Shepherd, you don't know which one you're hitting on. There's both of them in that group, and that's not good enough because you want to hit on just the ones that absolutely love their dogs, or they're the central focus in their life, because those are going to be the ones that are gonna opt into your list or buy your product or and things like that. In the golf example, in a passion hobby niche, again, same thing. There are fans, and then there are fans, or as I would call diehard fans. Okay, there are those who watch, and there are those who play as well. So, for example, for a sports team, there are casual fans who just kind of watch the game and drink some beers and hang out, and then there are the diehard fans, which say, hey, leave me alone. I'm watching the game. They're on the message boards. They're out. They're at every game. They're at practice, whatever. And then if you're trying to target people who actually um, play, and I actually got ahead of myself, but they're also fans of for example, the sport of golf, and they may not actually play golf. So those who watch and those who play. So some people just like golf, but that most of them don't actually go out and play golf consistently, and they're not really diehard golfers. And then I was touching on before, in sports there are fans That's, the yay go team, and then there are diehard fans that paint their face, buy all the gear, are on the message boards all day long, and are calling in on the radio shows, and those are the people you want to target. So I hope everybody sees why you can't just target with a broad term anymore. It doesn't work, and that's why most people target wrong. And this is just a picture of what I would consider a diehard sports fan. In this case, a Raider fan. This is the guy you want to target with your ad, um, and I think everybody gets that. All right, so then what's the solution to not targeting wrong anymore? Okay, well that's what I'm going to go over in Module 1, Lesson 2. So I'll see you in the next video.